last three, I think, if I remember right on this page. Yep. Simplifying the product of square roots again. Now in this case, you could try to simplify each of them separately and then multiply, but because my numbers aren't very big, it's probably easier just to multiply, then do my simplification. So it's really either way that you could do it. You just want to look and say, do I have really big numbers or do I have kind of small numbers that are easy to work with? In this case, I have kind of small numbers that are easy to work with. So I'm just going to go ahead and multiply them together first and make one big square root. So 2 times 6 is 12. X to the second times an x is an x to the third. U to the fourth times u squared, u to the sixth. Adding my exponents there, right? When I multiply, I add my exponents. So now I have that expression, 12x cubed u to the sixth. I want to do the square root of that, so now I'm going to do my simplification and try to factor those things out. 12 is not a perfect square, so I'm going to factor that into 4 and 3. X cubed is not a perfect square because it has an odd exponent, so I'm going to factor that into x times x to the second. And then the u to the sixth is a perfect square, so we're going to leave that one alone so that we can take out our square roots. So the square root of 4 is 2. The square root of x squared is an x. Square root of u to the sixth, u to the third. And then I have a 3 and an x underneath. So 2xu cubed square root of 3x is my answer. So number 14, we want to multiply those two square roots together. We're going to go ahead and multiply first. And so if I multiply those together, what am I going to get? 36.
Do you add those 10?
Yes, I do. So y to the 10th and w to the 10th, right? Now, when I look at that one, what do you know about 36?
Ooh, it can be brought out.
36 is already a perfect square, right? I don't need to factor it because it's already a perfect square. Same thing with the y to the 10th and the w to the 10th. Those are perfect squares because their exponents are both even. That means this is a perfect square. I'm just going to do the square root of everything. The square root of 36 is 6. The square root of y to the 10th, y to the 5th, and the square root of w to the 10th, w to the 5th. There's nothing left under the radical. That's just my answer. So number 15 there, if I multiply 3 times 18. What did you say?
54.
54, okay. 54, x to the
7.
x to the 6th, and u to the
6.
7th, right?
3.
That's the u's. On my x's I got 2 plus 4, and on my u's I have 4 plus 3. This one's not a perfect square, right? 54 is not a perfect square. I got to work with this one. 54 can be factored into. What number is your perfect square that divides into 54? 9 times 6, right? 9 is a perfect square. So 9 times 6 is the pair of factors you'd want to use for 54. We have an x to the 6th. We're leaving that one alone. We have a u to the 7th, however, that we need to fix.
Well, u times u to the 6th.
U times u to the 6th. Now we can take out our square roots. What are we going to get? Square root of 9 is 3. Square root of x to the 6th is x to the 3rd. And u to the 3rd. Underneath our radical, 6 and a u. So we get 3x cubed u cubed square root of 6u. So depending where you're at on the review section, you may have to scroll down to get to the radical stuff if you would want to work on that right away. We got one more homework page and we'll be done with all the topics in the review.